talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here a roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de The Alzheimer's Association y The Ad Council.
It's time for The Finish Line with Bree Marie and James Roland. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Welcome into The Finish Line with Bree Marie. No James Roland today. He's listening, so we'll give him the hardest of all times. We've got Solomon Bennett and Megan Bennett, the coolest people I know from Iowa. Sorry, Cam. I know we had you on a few weeks ago, but Megan's really taking the cake over here, as well as Saul. They're going to be chit-chatting with us today about dirt track racing and also my mom's favorite celebrity of all times. I hope she's listening right now. It's as close as we're getting to Cletus McFarland. Before we get going, though, I do want to give a shout-out to our sponsors that make this show happen. We've got Stern Company, where you can get the latest, the greatest, and all the best lubricants for your heavy equipment machinery, as well as what we're using for in my racing operation, as far as rear end grease. We've got transmission fluid, engine oil, all that fun stuff. So make sure you check them out at stern.co online. We've also got Eagle Raceway. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of entertainment and dirt track racing action every Saturday night. From stock cars to sprint cars, there's a fun and racing for everyone. Just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. For more information, visit eagleRaceway.com. And if you saw Megan's announcement, for those of you who haven't watched our show before, we are a motorsports show, talking about all the things that happen on the track, sometimes off the track, and also next to the track. So if you have any comments, questions, concerns, you can text in or call into 402-464-5685 and chat on YouTube. So please be a part of the show. This is The Finish Line on 93.7 The Ticket. I've got Jake Bachhoven on the ones and twos, or the buttons as I call them, because I know so much about radio. He's going to be helping us out today, per usual. Before we get going into the meat and potatoes here, James, who's not here and left me all alone, is announcing over at US 30 Speedway right now. They've got a race going on. They have the sprint cars out there, and he did send me a little bit of race roundup. US 30 did not race on Thursday because of the holidays. Happy birthday, America. So glad to see us going this strong. USA, love it. But at Eagle Raceway, Sport Mods went up first. We had Trevor Noonan winning. I think it was his first or second time back after a nasty barrel roll over at the Beatrice Speedway. Then the stock car winner was Casey Woken. Sprint car was picked up by Brandon Horton. It sounded like the race exceeded time limits, so that sounds a little interesting. Hobby stocks were won by Brad Schreiner. James did mention this was the first hobby feature winner not named Dylan Richards to win Eagle Raceway in 2025. And then our buddy Adam Armstrong picked up his first A modified win at Eagle Raceway last night. So congratulations to him. He's been dominant in hobbies, dominant in sport mods. This was his first year, rookie year, tackling the big boy modified division. So congratulations to him. Now I'm done rambling. I've got the coolest Iowans I know on here with us, Solomon and Megan. First off, you guys are kind of big in the racing community. We'll start off with Megan because she's wearing a super cool pink BHE shirt. Megan, who are you and how'd you get into racing?
My name is Megan. I'm originally from Florida, and I moved up here and went to a dirt track race, and I was like, this is pretty cool. So just been going ever since.
I love it. I love it. And then Solomon, your husband, Saul, how'd you get into racing?
My dad was part of a fair board that had a small figure 8 track and was kind of got around that, and then ended up running cruisers and then got into hobby stocks and been there ever since.
So you've been running a hobby stock. Can you tell us, for those who aren't maybe familiar with dirt track racing, or maybe it's their first time listening in, what is a hobby stock?
A hobby stock is like a mid-80s metric frame car. We run on street tires. We run stock like 2-barrel carburetors. We run crate 602. But very bare minimum suspension adjustment, just shocks, springs. We can't move trailing arms or A-frames or anything like that. So a lot of places have street stocks, real similar to them as well. So,
you know, I think it might help me out a lot if I wasn't allowed to move trailing arms in my car. We might do a little bit better there. So we'll get some pictures posted here in a bit on that, but that is pretty cool. How long have you been racing?
Oh, I've been racing since 2004 or 5.
Okay. I think I was in kindergarten then, if that makes you feel good.
Thank you.
So hobby stocks, you're in Iowa. Where's your home base? Where do you race at typically? What does that look like for you on the weekend? Where are you at?
We are Fridays. We are at Marshalltown Speedway, and then we go to Boone Speedway on Saturdays, and then Wednesday nights we run Stewart Speedway.
So you're racing 3 times a week.
Yes, most weeks there. Stewart's got a kind of a wide variety schedule, so but yeah, there are weeks that we run 3 nights a week. So
okay. And Megan, how do you feel about the 3-nighters?
Oh, I love it. Like, I don't know what I would do if we didn't race as much as we do. Like, wintertime is really hard. Like, it's like, what are we gonna do with ourselves? Like, rainouts, it's like, I guess it's a sushi date night.
Yeah, this is lame. I want to go spend all my money at the racetrack. Come on, give me some nachos. No, I like it. Like I said, Megan, you're really cool. I love that answer. So I met you guys. Oh, it was the end of last year, I think. Came up to Boone, hung out with you, and I was like, man, these are some great people. And then Megan and I, friendly banter every day on the Snapchat streaks. And my mom has been, this is kind of a roundabout story, but my mom, for some reason, has really taken a liking to Cletus McFarland. And somehow Megan and I got talking about it, and she's like, he ran one of our cars. And I was like, what? My mother's going to love this. So let's talk a little bit about that whole experience. I know it was Bristol International Speedway, right? Okay. And they decided to get a little dirty there. Can you tell me about that race?
Go ahead.
So the promoter of the race, Bristol Dirt, reached out to us and asked if we had an extra hobby stock that we could let somebody drive for Bristol. And I was like, who is it? And
that's kind of like, who is it? Or can they pay for it if they wreck it? Or are they going to
exactly? It was like, can they replace it? Like, and they're like, it's a famous YouTuber, and I was like, no. because the car that was in question was like our first car together. So it's our baby. It was our baby. And so I was like, I don't think so. And then they told us who it was, Cletus McFarland. And so then we kind of did a little research. And so I was like, he can actually drive. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, if something happens, like, are they going to replace it? And he's like, yep. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're good then.
So
Neither
it had
one of us
nothing.
knew who he was at the time either. We've never heard of him.
That's wild. So you guys are like, I don't even know who this is. Like, we're not super fan at this point. At this point, we're not super fans. We just want to know if he can drive the dang thing.
Yeah.
I like it. And then did kind of like a friendship evolve from there, or?
Yeah, so once we found out who it was, we were like, yeah, sure, we'll put one together. We hauled it all the way down to Bristol with all of our cars and everything. And he came and met us the first day. Very cool guy, very down to earth. Definitely just one of us. Race car driver, wants to do cool things with motor sports in general. And we're still friends to this day. So I send him happy birthdays and, congrats on having the kids and stuff all the time. So
check on him during the hurricanes.
Yeah, check on him during the hurricanes and all that.
So, Mother, my mom who's listening, this is as close as we're getting to Cletus. I hope you're enjoying the show. I know someone who gets to tell him happy birthday.
So it was quite a fun time. He took us up in his helicopter around Bristol and everything while we were there, and just very cool kid. So
when you guys first got the email, the text, whatever from Bristol Dirt, were you expecting it to evolve into what it was, that you would end up in a helicopter, you'd be making a lifelong friend? Was that on your mind, or were you first just like, no?
No, yeah, it was just like, okay, someone's going to come race our car, and then that's it. And it turned into, we sat up Saturday night in the VIP booth with him and watched the late models that week. And, this turned into a very good friendship and everything. So
I like it. And then Bristol Dirt, I feel like when it first happened, it was a big thing. We were all talking about it, and this show didn't even exist yet. Can you guys give us a little bit of background on how that even got started and what it was that was even happening there?
The biggest thing was, it was, for us, was running somewhere that iconic. We were actually ran the second year. We weren't even involved. Our class wasn't even involved the first year. And everyone that went the first year of, I think it was Stock Cars, Mods, and maybe Sport Mods. I can't remember even who all raised in the first year. But they said it was great. Pricey, but it was definitely one of those things to do once in a lifetime. So when it came up that we were in there, I mean, from the first, we were like, we got to go,
So you obviously not only provided a car, but you yourself you raced on that track.
Yes.
Right? What was your feeling the first time, you get the shakes, you're going on, and then the first time, even hot laps, and they start flashing that green light, you're going into the turn. What was your feelings?
Oh, it started when we pulled into the track, just being in the center of that track and just watching other cars and being in that Coliseum, the stands are right on top of you and everything, to then, let alone pulling on the track, it was nerve wracking, but I would say if it was a track that was dirt all the time, I would tell everyone you have to go to it once. It was fun to race. We ended up fourth that year. We were the first IMCA car. Because we mixed with USRA cars. So we were the first IMCA car to finish the highest. So, I mean, it was definitely a fun time.
I like that. I've always wanted to go. They've only ran like twice, haven't they?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. But I remember it being like everybody was saying, #Bristol baby, all these other things. And I'm like, huh? What is this? So I think that's really cool. I think that'd be a fun experience. Now, Boone Speedway, remind me, how long is that track?
That is a 3/8 mile track.
Okay. And then do we know what the size of Bristol is?
Bristol was a long half mile.
Have you ever been to or I-80 Speedway in
Yes.
Nebraska? Was it
Bigger than-
comparable to that?
Very, very similar, but the banking obviously is a lot more, and you can keep your speed up. So, like gearing wise, we even ran a deeper gear than what we run at I-80.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. People are telling me they were all the people who didn't go, obviously, because they had opinions for why they didn't go, and they were like, "Well, I'm afraid my car is gonna just break from driving that fast," and da 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 da. And I was like, I think we got a track pretty comparable here in Nebraska that does just fine. So that's a really cool experience, and I'm glad you guys got to do it. Would you go again?
I think we would. I think it was fun. It's definitely expensive. We would probably have one less car that we would have to haul down there, but it was definitely something to do. It was a very fun track to drive, very easy track to drive, surprisingly, and I think in a heartbeat I would.
Was it easy because you could keep your speed up in the corners?
I think the downforce of it was crazy. Like, we didn't go through tires. We actually had to take bite out of our car because of the downforce.
Really?
Yep. It was dogging the downforce. It was pushing the car down so hard that we had so much bite from our normal tracks around here that it was just dogging it down so much grip. You were gripping the track so much that you actually had to take bite out of the car.
Interesting. And how do you do that in a hobby stock?
Springs mostly. This the rear springs is a big one. So,
and Megan, obviously this was not only a vacation, it was a racecation. What was your role in all this? Because I know you're really big behind the scenes as well, in the Bennett racing operation. Sorry, I'm not calling it Solomon Bennett. It's Megan Bennett Racing. No, but what was your role in it, and what were your feelings with the racecation?
Really with Bristol, it was hard for us because they were down in the center. And so like normally in the pits, we can talk, we talk setup, we go look at the track together and everything. At Bristol, they were in the middle a lot of the time, and outside, they lined up outside, they took them inside to the center, and then they entered the track from there. So honestly, we couldn't even go look at the track because we were all pitted outside in the parking lot. So it was a little different for us because, like I said, normally we, go look at the track together, make decisions on setup, are we going to do dry setup, a heavy setup kind of thing, tire pressures, all that. We couldn't do that there. So I kind of felt a little lost. Like I was a little like, I don't know what to do with myself and we had so many people with us that like, everybody, all the guys were helping all the guys. So like, I was like, cool. I just kind of hung out with the wives at Bristol. Really. I was kind of, like I said, I was kind of lost. I didn't know what to do with myself there.
Well, Solomon, did you kind of feel the same way? Because it's not like anyone really had great data at it as far as it being dirt. There was only 1 year that they did it, one show that they did it. So were you kind of feeling the same way? You got out there and you'd send it and hope for the best?
It was for sure. And like she said, there was one way in and one way out of Bristol. So they would do I think it was sport mods and hobbies together. So we would all go to the center and then they would run all the sport mods and then the hobbies. So, we took what we thought we needed to watch the track. And it was, like you said, it was like, well, that's what it looks like. But it was nothing we ever ran on before. So it was definitely a learning curve, and we had to learn pretty quick. We only had 3 days on the track, I think. So it was a pretty quick learning curve on that. So, but yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead.
It was a completely different for us because, like Megan said, she does most of the decision making, is what everyone says, but we do it together. So there, it was very odd to be down in the center and make it myself and talk to the other guys and stuff. So
do you think that kind of was an advantage? Like, we hear a lot of times people will say, oh, this track is a driver's track, or you really got to Gateway Dirt Nationals. There's not a lot of data on it, sort of thing. And it sounds like obviously top 4, you made tech. You did a really great job, but it ended up being not only driving and adapting that way, but everyone was kind of going in there with a clean slate and had to start from the beginning, and they had to be flexible and had to easily adapt to things. So do you think you and your crew really had an advantage as far as how you communicate with each other, and how well you know your car and know your stuff?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was we had 4, 5, 6 cars there, all that we just combined our information. You know, my car felt like this, and we went into practice not even knowing gear. So we had this car had this gear, this car had this gear, you know, just trying to figure out that gear, you know. Luckily, Dynamic Drivelines was down there for us, you know. He was down there for that week to help us out for his gears and stuff. So, and he had been there for the stock cars and stuff the year before to give us information as well. So we dug wherever we could for information. So
I like it. And I do want to talk more about Dynamic Drivelines because I'm trying to get him on the show as well. And maybe this peer pressure live call out might do it. So I do want to talk more about them and what they do, as well as a little bit more about gearing. We are going to take a quick break for those of you who are listening. If you haven't already, get those comments in. Megan and Solomon have a lot that they can answer, so make sure you add those. We will be right back. This is The Finish Line on 93.7 The Ticket.
What do you look for when searching for a plumbing company? Integrity, positive customer reviews? Are they insured and fully licensed? How about a company that has all three? Deals Plumbing in Lincoln is your go-to certified plumbing company that can help you fix anything from leaks to clogs, water heaters, and more. Give Deals Plumbing a call today at 402-525-7311, or you can visit Deals Plumbing online at dealsplumbing.com.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Play ball! Ready for summer fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. From May through August, the Lincoln Salt Dogs will be playing and the park will be popping with all the food, drinks, and fun you need for the perfect night out. Grab your friends, family, and coworkers and make plans now. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets. Come on out to the park and unleash the fun.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Lights out? Let LES know where to go. Powerline matches your phone number to your service address so LES can respond to outages faster. Keep your information up to date at les.com/powerline.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive. At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through July 6th, enjoy all-natural whole pork butt for $1.99 per pound. Lumberjack pellets for $3.99 when you buy $25 in meat. Buy 5, get 5 free on original brat patties and beef short ribs for $6.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Back to the finish line with Bree Marie and James Roland on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the finish line with Bree Marie. No James Roland. Gonna say that every single time. We've got Jake on the ones and twos, and we have Solomon and Megan Bennett from Solomon Bennett Racing, or Megan Bennett Racing, as I like to call it. If you haven't checked them out yet on Facebook, you need to do so. Give them a like for the number 11B Hobby Stock team out of Iowa. Just a reminder for those who are joining us that you can listen to us in your car and on our 93.7 The Ticket app, and also watch on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, as well as the Allo channel 961. You can call in or text in to 402-464-5685. We have one comment already. It is from my mother, and I am refusing to read it just yet because she's quite ornery. So make sure you have your comments, please, or I will have to read that one. Oh gosh, I just threw myself off. Before we were talking about gearing at Bristol, baby, on dirt. And we were talking a little bit about a place called Dynamic Drivelines. And Solomon, can you kind of explain what they do? Because I also use them in my car, but I have a feeling you might know them a little bit better.
Maybe a little bit better. Mike Bennett, owner of Dynamic Drivelines. No relation. Everyone thinks we're related. We are not, actually.
I thought you were brothers. I'm so sorry. You know the same amount about them.
Don't worry. Very common. A lot of people do. We are not related. Been using him for years. Probably close to when I started racing. So they do gears. They do drive shafts, rear ends, a little bit of anything in your driveline. They even do transmissions. They rebuild transmissions of your Brens and stuff like that. But greatest guy in the world, will do anything for anyone. Great stuff. If you need something now, he'll get it to you.
Yes.
He's in Street Outlaw guys. He does it all. Mini mod or mod lights, drive shafts, front wheel drive,
Doesn't he do some asphalt stuff too?
He does. He's in some what is it called? Mandy Chicks, ARCA cars, and stuff like that. So I think over the weekend he was over in Cedar Rapids for some drift car stuff. So I mean, he does it all. Super late models. I know he's in a few.
I like those.
Yep. Some of those guys is I'm not 100%. I know Ricky Thornton Jr. He's in his now. Some other ones for sure. But so I mean, and your daily drivers, your semis, stuff like that, he'll do those as well. So I mean,
So not just dirt race cars. Dynamic drive lanes is drive lines for all.
Yep.
No, I would agree. I had I've been learning a lot about my car last year and this year, and I made some no-brainer decisions on things. And I texted him, or no, I sent him a message. It was super late one night. I was in the garage, and I'm like, Mike, I can't get the pinion angle I need in this thing. I think I have the wrong size drive shaft. And the next day he had one built for me, and we arranged a pickup, and I got it that very next day, which was great because the following day I had to race.
Oh, yeah.
Hope he doesn't hear this. I messed something else up, which ruined that, which is why I needed a different pinion angle. But now I have like 3 drive shafts in my trailer, but they're awesome. They've all held together, and the gears too. I switched to his gears the end of last year. I switched to them, and knowing the way that I run equipment, they should not be lasting, but they are lasting, and that says something. So for anybody who hasn't heard of Dynamic Drive Lines, you have now, and you have no excuses to go check them out. You can find them on Facebook. They've got an online store as well. You can call them. They're in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Des Moines. If you don't know how to spell it, get on that Google Maps and go find it. Check them out. They're a great supporter of racing. So we want to give them a shout out there. And then I know BHE. So we were talking about your shirts on break. Me and Jake were, and I was like, no, I know both those guys on their shirts. They got Dynamic Drive Lines and they got BHE. And so BHE, do you want to tell us a little bit about them as well? Because I know they're a big partner for you guys and some great friends too.
Oh yes, BHE. We went with them 2-3 years ago for shocks. Love them. Love Bobby to death. Same, almost just like Mike. You know, he's on top of it. If you need something, you call him. He will get you set up and shipped out and get you what you need in no time. I love it. I'm very picky on my shocks. I adjust shocks a lot. Bobby probably hates me, but I adjust. I adjust minor little things all the time. And Bobby's like, okay, we can do it, you know? So I know there's guys out there like, really, again? And Bobby he goes with the flow.
Well, I mean, that's how you're going to learn like what works. You're going to find something. And like you said earlier, there's not a whole lot of changes that you guys can make in those hobby stocks. So I'd imagine wherever you can make a change is where you're going to make it. And so something finite like that is pretty important. It looks like on the screen, we've got another crew member up here. Who is this little guy?
This is Anderson. This is our youngest. He's our 4-year-old. He has been at the racetrack since he's been 3 days old. So he was born and we went straight to Super Nationals. So
I'm going to interrupt you here for a second. PJ Pedersen messaged me earlier. He said, Bree, make sure you ask Megan about how she scheduled the birth of their youngest, Anderson.
Yeah.
Was this planned, Megan?
Yeah. So he was due originally on September 10th. And that was the week of Super Nationals. I think it was a Thursday of Super Nationals, which obviously we would have been done racing by then because we only raced Monday through Wednesday. And then if you make the show Saturday. But I was not taking any chances with getting excited at the races and going into labor at Boone Speedway. So not on my to-do list. So I asked my OB if they would be okay with inducing a week early. And they were like, yeah, sure. So I was like, cool. So we had him September 3rd. And so he's kind of we always celebrate his birthday the Friday before Super Nationals. at the track, and then he goes with grandparents for the week. And so, yeah, obviously he was there with us in 2020 as a newborn, and I mean, it rained the whole time, so we just sat in the RV the entire time. But yeah, he's been at the track since he was 3 days old. And honestly, I wanted to go to the track the night we got out of the hospital, and Saul told me no. So he's like, you can barely walk to get your pain meds in Walmart. You're not going to the track.
Like I said, coolest Iowans I know. It's Megan Bennett Racing. So it looks like we've got the kiddo with us here. We've got a winning picture up here. What was it like to win the first race that you did with him there, having your son by your side? What was that win? What did that one feel like?
It was great. I don't win a lot, obviously. Everyone knows that.
I see trophies behind you. I'm just saying.
That's over 20 years.
It's like 1 win a year. That's what we average.
Yes.
Not bad.
I mean, we run in Central Iowa. We run against competitive guys.
Yes.
I mean, the 3 tracks that we run, there is multiple guys every night that can win. So to be able to pull off a win, this night was great. Like I said, it was the first one that we had with Anderson, and the first time we won was the Sharpie Mobile as well. So, which is very popular. So
I have a t-shirt with it. So I got a t-shirt from Megan a few months ago of the Sharpie Mobile. For those of you who aren't watching and are just listening, Megan and Saul, there's probably a story behind it, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but they've got this very nice hobby stock that their sponsors are written on with Sharpie. So whatever you're picturing in your head is exactly what it looks like, but it's kind of, I mean, I would think it's a staple. I thought it was hilarious when I saw it. So I got a t-shirt, and then apparently I was getting in trouble for changing out my dynamic drivelines gears, wearing your shirt, Saul. So sorry about that one. So what's the story behind the Sharpie Mobile? Because it hasn't been like that forever.
No, so we used to always go all out with wraps and everything. We love a pretty car. Pink has been the color of our car for 15 years. So, and we were waiting on a new chassis. And so the year had started, and we were like, okay, we weren't going to get the chassis until after the season started. Well, we weren't going to put a wrap on the car and then cut it to take the body off to move it to the new chassis. So we just decided that we would just put this body on the car that we were running, that we had, and we would just spray paint and Sharpie. And then after a couple weeks, we would get our new chassis and we would get the wrap on, and we'd go about it. Well, things got pushed back. And so we ended up running that body the entire year. At first, a lot of people were really upset with us that we didn't have a wrap on the car. I don't know, like, the car's ugly. Why don't you have a wrap? Somebody can give you a wrap, and I know somebody who can do a wrap for you. And it's like, we already have a wrap in the process. It's not that we can't have one or we didn't have one. It was that we were waiting on the car. And
I love that was their concern.
I know, right?
That they were worried about your race car's wrap.
Yes. So, and the longer the season went on, Saul's pretty, like we were just joking about not winning a whole lot, but he's pretty consistent. And, when you can consistently finish in the top 5, top 10, on random nights, then you're kind of like, oh yeah, that car doesn't have to be pretty to go fast. It doesn't have to be pretty to be a good handling car. So by the middle, towards the end of the season, everybody was like, we love the Sharpie Mobile. Like,
now they love it. Huh?
Yeah, now they love it. Right. So, it came up with somebody, I forget who it was. I know it was a photographer. Was it Ben Humphrey, I think? Or somebody, one of the photographers came up with the name Sharpie Mobile, and it kind of just stuck. And so we just went with it. And so then ran it the whole season. Then the next year we got our chassis and we put a wrap on the body. And as soon as we brought it out, everybody lost their minds of where's the Sharpie mobile now. And it was just like, we can't win. Like, so we ended up running the car with the wrap for first part of the season. And it seemed like every night that body was being ripped off constantly. And so finally we were just like, you know what, we're going to put the old body back on. And so we one weekend decided to transfer bodies from one car to the other. People thought we went to the old car. They're like, what's wrong with the car? What's wrong with the car? Nothing. We just changed bodies, but everybody assumed that we changed cars because they were two different chassis. And then everybody was like, oh my gosh, the Sharpie mobile's back. And then we've just kind of run it ever since. Wraps have gotten expensive. So we've just kind of went with it.
It got so popular that we, like you said, we ended up getting T-shirts made with the Sharpie mobile.
Because T-shirts, I will say that.
So it got that popular, and you know, I think we're almost stuck with it for now.
Yes,
we're about due for a new body just because we ran it so much because they love it so much. So it's definitely a fun car to take to a track that we haven't ran before and watch the people's look at it and we roll it out like,
oh, he's not going to do any good. And then it's like,
we had many people come to us after the race and go, when we first saw your car, we were like, oh my God. But then by the end of the night, we were like, oh my God.
I love it. Yes. It's the sleeper. It's the sleeper hobby stock.
Exactly. So
I love it. Well, so we've talked about this just popped into my head because, you know, my mom keeps messaging about Cletus right now. Do you think Cletus would have preferred the Sharpie mobile wrap for himself, or would he have preferred the fancy snancy actual wrap?
I don't know on that one. I think he probably would have got a kick out of the Sharpie mobile for sure. And that's, you know, and that's when we took that car. Everyone was like, well, did you give him what you guys run? And I ended up running that car later that year because we got so much grief. Like, you didn't give him a car that was competitive and all this stuff. And I took it to Marshalltown. I took it to Stewart and finished in the top 5 in Central Iowa the way it was for him.
Well, and how many dirt races has he ever ran before that?
None. He had never been in a dirt car prior to that. And he actually did well.
Yes.
Very well, you know, and even just the practice night when just getting in the car, he did very well. And it was like, okay, he can drive, you know, so.
And I think that speaks volumes to, this is not everyone. This is the very, very, very small percentage of the racing crowd who has never been in a race car. And I'll get people that'll come up to me and they're like, why didn't you do this? Or why didn't you do that? Or if I was in your car, I would have done blah, 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 blah. Megan's not part of that percentage. Megan has been in the car, and we can talk about that later because I know she needs to be racing Boone. I'm just saying. But it speaks volumes on you can't just jump in and drive. You've got people who have tons of experience in things that are way faster and way different, and they've got the mindset for it, but even, you know, they sometimes struggle or they're not right up at the front. And it is more than just stomping, steering, and going one direction. No matter what you're in, whether it's a 4-banger or a 410 sprint car, like it takes talent. It takes time and patience and practice, and a lot of dedication. So I think it speaks volumes. And I also love the fact that you got in it and you're like, no, it works. It works just fine. But no, that's really cool. And a question I just thought of was, would you be upset if there was a particular sport mod driver out of Lincoln, Nebraska that no longer wanted to pay for her race car wraps and started making her sport mod a Sharpie mobile? Because I'm seeing money saved.
The bad thing is that we've definitely around Central Iowa, we've seen a lot more duct tape numbers in the last couple of years.
Well, then I can definitely do it. They'll never know.
Exactly.
We'll just erase this show, and you had to have been here listening to it live to know. We are going to take another break here. Get those comments in, or I will be forced to read my mom's comment. And I'm looking at it right now, and I don't know how I feel about it. Stay tuned. You are listening to The Finish Line on 93.7 The Ticket.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Lights out? Let LES know where to go. Powerline matches your phone number to your service address so LES can respond to outages faster. Keep your information up to date at les.com/powerline.
Play ball!
Ready for summer fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. From May through August, the Lincoln Salt Dogs will be playing and the park will be popping with all the food, drinks, and fun you need for the perfect night out. Grab your friends, family, and coworkers and make plans now. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets. Come on out to the park and unleash the fun.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Back to the finish line with Bree Marie and James Roland on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the finish line with Bree Marie. No James Roland. We'll talk about what he's doing in a second here. We've got Solomon and Megan Bennett from the 11B Hobby Stock Racing Team out of Iowa. We've got Jake Bachhoven on the ones and twos, making sure I don't royally mess up here. I was on my lovely handy dandy cell phone here over break, and I will call James out because that's what we do. He told me he was announcing today at US 30 Speedway. His Snapchat story says otherwise. He is currently pushing sprint cars, sitting in the passenger seat, taking videos of himself pushing sprint cars. And that's a little bit different than announcing, James. So I hope you're listening to this live right now while you're trying to announce or have it in the truck. Strong words and feelings for you, homie. No, I'm kidding. If you haven't checked out US 30 Speedway, you should go out there. Columbus, Nebraska. It's not actually that far of a drive. So from like North Lincoln, it's about an hour 15. They race most Thursday nights, and they've got a summer series schedule for Sunday night. Church in the Dirt is what they call it. So make sure you check them out as well. But anyways, We have some comments. It looks like they are made up of my mother and some of my crew guys. So, Jake, do you want to read those off and just let them rip?
Yeah, the latest one is from Kyle. He says, "Read your mom's comments," so we should probably get into that.
Style.
And your mom Diane says, "Give Bree Cletus digits and give Bree Cletus digits and get him on the show before Ice Cream Cruise." She also says, "Hey," as well as Cletus.
Is that an option?
We could.
Are you going to, though?
No, we better not.
She might grab me by the ear for old time's sake. And it looks like she just said James wants Cletus too. Well, James isn't here, Diane, so I don't know what to tell you. No, but before we go, we've only got a few minutes left. I do want to know, what is your favorite story together, Saul and Megan? What's your favorite racing memory, whether it is a race or it's a moment at the track or because of racing?
We were talking about this earlier. I know mine. I don't know if it's ours, but what year was it? 2016. It would have been the first year I qualified for Super Nationals. This guy here.
That one?
Yep, that one. That was a pretty interesting year in general. It was Monday night was 2 black flags, heat race and B feature. And Megan threatened to leave Super Nationals that night.
I was going home.
And
like going home or leaving him?
No, going home.
Going home.
We were going home.
This is Megan's team.
I wasn't up to par that day and ended up coming back the next Tuesday and won our heat race and didn't draw the greatest for our qualifier, but drove her up to like 0.07 of winning it. And so ended up qualifying second row of Super Nationals my first year.
And then you were able to keep your lifelong partner because you didn't step on it. Congratulations.
Yep. So.
Megan, what's your favorite memory?
Oh, geez, there's so many of them. I don't know. Like, I think that one's up there. Actually, 12 years ago today, he proposed to me. And then we went racing that night, and he won that night too. So that was.
Well, he had to. You could always revoke your answer.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you better win tonight. We're getting married. No.
The yes is ending.
So that was pretty memorable too. But there's been a lot of ups and downs. Definitely. I mean, anybody who has all the highs, eventually will hit lows. And I mean, there has been bad years and, you just got to keep going and, you push through those bad times and, he'll say, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck. And sometimes it feels like that. Like
we always talk that, you just don't know who's watching either, who's looking up to us. So we never give up, We'll wreck on Friday night and we'll be back out Saturday. There've been a lot of times that it's like, I really don't want to work all night on the car, but it's like, who's going to be at Boone that, what kid's going to be there waiting to see the Sharpie mobile or what, so we keep going. So
you guys need Sharpies with your racing name on it, your logo on there to hand out. If you don't have them, let's talk and make that happen because I want one. I think that'd be really cool, especially giving them to kids that still color on the walls. I'm sure their parents would love it so much. Before we go, do you guys have any sponsors or people that you want to shout out?
Oh, definitely. Our sponsors are a big reason, why we're able to do what we do and do it 3 times a week and everything. So, Minburn Metal Fab, VIP Contractors, Finish Line Body and Paint, Dynamic Drivelines, BHE, Glory Motorsports, Trimmer Chassis, Jared Bailey Photography, Laser Expressions Unlimited, Bennett Backhoe, Hit Concrete, Par Industries, GBass Powerglides, Albrant Motorsports, Princess Emily, Bushnell family, Watts family, and Lehman Racing are a big part of why we are able to do what we do and continue on every week.
I like it. It definitely takes a village to do what we do, and to be able to have as much fun as we do. And you guys definitely have a village and a great team of support behind you. Thank you again, Solomon and Megan, for Megan Bennett Race. No, I'm kidding. Solomon Bennett Racing. Check them out on Facebook. Give them a like. Buy some merch.
YouTube too.
Yeah, YouTube. Yes, YouTube. Check them out on YouTube. But other than that, you're listening to The Finish Line. I hope you guys had a happy, safe 4th of July. This is 93.7 The Ticket. Have a good one.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Play ball!
Ready for summer fun and ball